Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Minor League Esports presented by APM Music. We have more exciting Minor League Esports action lined up for you here tonight. We've got a Master League matchup between the Sabres and the Aviators, coming off the back of that exciting Foundation League matchup we just saw between the Comets and the Shadow. I am Lars Newt, and joining me here in the casting booth is Foof to talk about this series between, again, I said, the Sabres and the Aviators. Aviators coming in 13-12, 3-2 for series. The Sabres are coming in 11-14, 3-2 in series as well. But as you know, for Minor League Esports, it all comes down to games at the end of the season. When we go into playoffs, it's not about series wins, it's about games wins. That's why we play all 5 games in every single series that we have here. Couple quick substitutions coming into this. We were going to have Climax Games and Grant CFO for the Aviators versus Solrak and Wolfie. All right, you broke me. You got it. You got it, Foof.
Sorry.
Thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, hopes, and our dreams.
Well, no, I just had to hop in. And Grant is backing out and pulling in for them is Doomsucker, like you said. And then on the other side, you rarely see two teams have substitutions. I actually got to reach out and talk to Big C before this one, and they're playing. We were going to originally play Wolfie and Solrak, and decided to go with Phoenix. Said the boys were meshing well in warm-ups, and said they were quote-unquote vibing. So decided to go with that lineup. I want to see the Sabres vibe. I want to see the Aviators come in with a different player. It really feels like a hot tag.
Well, the thing about Doomsucker, as much as there's love for Grant around here, and well-deserved, is Doomsucker is the Aviators' #1 player in Master League right now. Hands down, a leader in every single category except one, which we don't have to get into what that one category is. But Doomsucker is hands down the Aviators' best player statistically at the moment. So subbing them out for Grant, it just kind of makes sense, especially if they're going to go up against this Sabres team that's coming in hot. They're feeling good. They think they're going to be out here ready to clap these Aviators. And the Aviators are saying, hey, we're going to try to hold on to this lead that we have. We're going to keep ourselves stuck up here in playoff contention, keep that goal differential high, keep that game differential positive above 500. Sabres, on the other hand, looking to climb that ladder a little bit and get themselves in playoff contention as well.
I'll be honest, mascot-wise, I don't know how well a pilot would hold up against a saber-tooth tiger, but saber-tooth tigers are also extinct, so, I don't really know who would win that fight, truistically. But no, the Sabres are in, the Aviators in, and we're on the kickoff here. Phoenix and Doomsucker, both of the subbed-in players on the kickoff, truly kicking it off the right way in game #1. Doomsucker and the Aviators having some pressure. Phoenix putting it back on Climax, running back, getting the soft touch with that Dominus. I've recently started playing with a Dominus, and that car is just so long.
Dominus flicks it different. I'm a Maverick main generally. I've been playing with the Fennec a lot, but the Dominus, when you need to throw some spicy flicks, that is the way. And I've seen Climax play before, had a few opportunities to cast them, and they are a Dominus. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Dominant?
A Dominus main. I think part of it is that kind of control that you get with the Dominus. Some of those options it opens up for you that you don't normally get with a shorter car.
Well, we're going to see if the Aviators can take advantage of it, because we have two Phoenix on the side of the Sabres. Wolfie getting it past one. He's got Doomsucker sitting back. That's Fennec v. Fennec. A good save there from Doomsucker. The slow play, very, very strong, but slower defense means it's turned away again as we crest this 1 minute in gameplay and no goals to be had, but both teams trading shots back and forth.
Yeah, some quick back and forth, and they've both done a good job. Oh my goodness, that's off the post and the crossbar. Or finally cycling back out. But like you said, we've seen some good looks out of both sides of this ball, and that's reassuring to see this even matchup so far. But a little bit of that feel each other out period, something I'd like to see, kind of a shift in meta, is kind of big dunk and an opportunity off the post with the cleanup for Phoenix, but no, Climax Game will turn it away, and Doomsucker back down the other way with another dunk themselves that also will not quite find the net. Just saying, the meta shifted just a little bit into, it used to be that feel each other out period was kind of a slower, more conservative, methodical gameplay. And what I've seen as of late is it's been, hey, I'm going to come out and try to hit you in the mouth, and we'll see what happens, and that'll be how we feel each other out.
That is some of the most fun games to play when both teams are just putting what they have on display in that first couple of minutes and seeing what gives and what takes. And deadlock 0-0, 14 seconds away from halftime. Climax gets bumped there. A really good read getting that Sabre player up, but Phoenix and company not bending very far on the defensive side. Wolfie got a bump from his teammate, but Climax rotating ball side gets a good touch there. The Aviators turn it back.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned to see the Sabres pursue the physical play that aggressively. When you've got two Aviators players back, they're both in a good position to make that save, and you send down for a bump play, it's not a great high probability opportunity because you have to bump both of those players for that to work, and you're taking yourself out of the play and opening up a quick transition back the other way.
It is truly a high risk, and in that situation, a lower reward. It would have turned into pressure, I don't think, a goal. So I do agree, but it's trying to set that tone as the demo comes through from Doomsucker. Climax gets it in the middle of the net, but a good 50 from the Sabres puts it back on. Wolfie's up trying to push it, but Doomsucker doing enough in the goal. Aviators putting it back on Climax, throwing it off the backboard. No, it's going to fall back down, so Wolfie has to run out to this one and collect it. The ball now sitting on this orange half. The Aviators prowling around, rotating, trying to find any defense, just any way to break through.
Well, Doomsucker and Phoenix making that 50 on the wall. We've seen these teams be a little bit more aggressive. They're a little more in each other's face. They know that both of these teams are very mechanically capable, and it's important to not give space to allow those mechanical plays to develop.
Well, it's about closing in. It's about finding ways to win one-on-ones and one-on-twos. Now the Sabres running back. Doomsucker taking Phoenix for a ride, but no, Wolfie takes Climax to a ride to the gray screen. 3 seconds in waiting time as Wolfie puts it back on. Now Doomsucker flipping the pitch here. It's going to run back. The Aviators had a chance, but Phoenix denying it, and Wolfie another demo. The Sabres demoing defensively, and I like to see it because that is giving them a lot of space and a lot of time to collect boosts, and that's a lot of space here for Wolfie, but Wolfie not wanting to follow through with Phoenix's aggressive push. Doomsucker now has a chance, a soft push over to the middle. The ball bounces back down, but Climax doesn't want to force because we're only 30 seconds away, and it's still 0-0.
A quick back and forth from both of these teams, and so evenly matched. But evenly matched, and one of the areas I'd like to see them improve is no one's established a good offensive rotation, a good contain with repeat pressure. It's transition play, okay, your turn. Transition play, okay, now our turn again. Transition play, just back and forth for these one-off shooting opportunities. I'd like to see them establish this a little bit more stable, get that ball down in one end of the field, and then keep it there, beat that net until you finish it off.
13 saves, Lars. 13 saves. Both of these teams finding shots, but they are not quality shots. There is someone in the net ready to turn away almost at every opportunity. So I want to see more chances of forcing one-on-twos, finding a way to pass it around. And Phoenix with a very good opportunity. Near post, a nice flick off the wall, but Wolfie still far back, doesn't want to commit. It's game one. I don't think they want to overcommit here. Doomsucker over one, no boost, but a good 50 from the Sabres side denies that one.
Oh, no Sabres getting some pressure with one down. Doomsucker gets the initial clear, but it's not out of the shooting lane, and Phoenix with the follow-through reads that one so well. Climax, unfortunately, I think was looking for Doomsucker on that transition, but Doomsucker had already elected to go back to net, and it will be the Sabres to strike first, and it's golden goal in game number one.
It truly is golden goal. Wolfie and Phoenix coming in, and Phoenix, the sub, Lars! That's the story. They bring him in so he can make the exclamation point goal. Doomsucker tabbed in, made 6 huge saves, 5 shots. Both of these players who were brought in to be that impact player impacted both squads heavily. So game one, truly just a test of who would win first, a war of attrition. Who will give up the first goal? And it had to go to extra time to find that.
Yeah, that is quite the story for game one. I almost wonder if these teams kind of, one decided to make the sub and the other was like, oh no, they're subbing, we better sub. The chicken and the egg, I'm not sure which came first or if there was anything that communicated beforehand, but at the end of the day, like you said, Doomsucker, 6 saves, and Climax finding 2 themselves, but they just got outshot. 9 shots to 7. It's not a huge difference, but the Aviators just didn't quite find that offensive pressure that the Sabres were able to bring a little bit more consistently, a little bit more evenly. Both those players a little bit more evenly distributed in points and contribution on the field. To me, that speaks for a better rotating team. I try not to give too much credence to points, but when you have huge differentials and very small differentials, that kind of says a lot.
I think it's going to be who finds that consistency first, Lars, because both of these teams knock on the door. You talked about it. Pressure. Dime a dozen. Everyone had a chance. Everyone had shots, and now the Sabres with an opportunity, but can't find the touch. But here it is. Once again, the Sabres strike early, but they lose possession. Now the Aviators have a chance. I don't want to see a crack shot here if they can't find it. Doomsucker putting it on the wall, but turned away. Now the Aviators with a very good chance, but not playing up is Climax. A good 50 here would stall it, but no, the Sabres given a lot of free space. Climax puts it back, and we're getting into this tennis match once again.
I think maybe not pressuring that ball was a bit of awareness out of Climax that the Sabres didn't have any boost to actually follow that shot. Said, okay, go ahead, touch that off the back of the wall. What are you going to do with it? You don't have any boost. I'll just wait down here to clean that one up. And if so, what awareness out of Climax to be tracking not only their own boost, but everyone else's. And that one's in the middle, spreading all three remaining players on the field to find the first goal of the series for the Aviators.
Just that soft touchdown from Phoenix, and I was wondering at what point would the second player for both these teams step up. And Climax, it was just waiting for the perfect pitch, you know, that, no, it's not my ball. No, it's not my ball. That one. I want that one, he says, and puts them up. The Aviators strike not even a minute in. Climax winning the kickoff and getting some more control for them.
Oh, speaking of control and, hey, I want that one. No, I want this one. No, that's not the right one. That's what this game is all about. People think, oh, let's just blindly push the ball towards the net. No, never slap your hands away from the controller. That's not how you play Rocket League. Control the ball. Wait with the ball. Keep the ball away from your opponents. Learn to be the ball. Get in the ball's head. And then, once you have an opportunity, now you strike. Now you push it towards your opponent's net.
But Lars, car go fast, ball go fast, I score, right? I thought that was the simplicity of it. The demo coming through. Doomsucker going fast indeed. Supersonic putting Phoenix for a chance, but the Sabres can't find it. Doomsucker now on it. That Finnick jumping down. Climax can't follow through. Phoenix wasn't bumping. He bumped his own teammate. Climax able to collect it here. The Aviators back on their side. This white and green waiting for the touch here. A nice job in the corner. Woofy putting it on. That's going to float far post, but just a little bit too far wide right. Sabres can't find a mark.
I had a second here to think about what you said here. Car go fast, ball go fast. And I think I've cracked the code to what makes a good Rocket League player. See ball, hit ball, yes. Second only to see boost, get boost. I mean, no, these are good Rocket League players here on the pitch. As you see this back and forth, it continues to be an even matchup. Even as the Aviators have found a way to score before overtime, it's still only a one-goal game. This could still be the golden goal, but on the flip side, Sabres capable of bringing offensive pressure, capable of putting opportunities on net. One goal, two is one is none.
Well, the most important thing here is the control that the Aviators have begun to show. They don't give up as many shots, but they've only taken one shot. So, after the absolute barrage of opening of offense from both of these teams, we expect it to continue. But now Woofy pushing this on the car, getting it past one. Doomsucker, though, stalling that one out. The Sabres have another chance, but another big 50 from that Finnick. This white and green on the attack. It's a misread. Climax, open net. He's going to find it. The Aviators up two.
Misread or a fake here is this looks like it could be a shooting opportunity from Climax, and no, that's a misread out of Wolfie. No, quite find the touch over the top, and Climax, very patient, very aware of what's happening here, elects to just stay down, and the easy touch home.
Easy touch home, but sometimes those are the ones that get you large because you get too much in your head. It's, oh, I've got all this open space and all this open net, and I can do so many things with it. Just the simplest answer sometimes the best, and Wolfie going for a simple touch, trying to bang it in. But once again, this green and white will not bend. They bend but do not break. They are standing at a 2-goal lead and will not give any semblance of hope to the Sabres.
They did a good job of keeping that ball clear of the shooting lane, keeping it away from the front of the net, and bringing pressure back downfield. There's a bump, though, that can open up a little bit of space for the Sabres, not quite as much as they needed. And you see Wolfie looking for that physical play in front of the net again, trying to bump Climax out of the air. This could be quite a mental play, but unfortunately it's kind of another low probability, high risk, high reward opportunity. And we need to see the Sabres look for something more stable, I guess I would say.
Well, right now the stability has been in the pressure. It's been in the efficiency that I think is lacking because they're finding touches, they're finding bumps.
Ooh, there it is.
You said it with me. There it is. The simple plays, just bounce it off the backboard. 5 head says Wolfie, I'll clear the goalie. Phoenix, it's near post, and we're back down by 1.
Well, the Sabres, we asked for something higher probability, and what's higher probability than Wolfie coming up and saying, hey, here's a ball, I'm going to set it in front of the net for you. Oh, there's a goalie, let me take care of that for you too. Blast that goalie out of the way, leave Climax diving across the net in an awkward challenge. Oh. That's too easy for Phoenix to finish that one off. Now, one more goal is what the Sabres need to bring this one at least to overtime.
It's a hard opportunity. The Sabre, Wolfie putting it on. Climax can't get there. Wolfie, the double off of the backboard. I was holding my breath earlier because I thought that shot was going to come through for the Aviators, but no, Wolfie finds it and puts them back and ties it back up. Excuse me.
Just a slight misread out of Climax there. They did exactly what they needed to get up on that back wall, try to challenge that one early and hammer that one away. Don't allow that exact follow-up touch that we saw. Unfortunately, they just misread where it was going to contact just a little bit, and it allows the Sabres to tie this one up. And even matchup. It's that we said it in game number 1. We'll say it in game number 2, and I'll be shocked if we don't say it in game number 3.
Well, there was a big-time save from Phoenix, but that is an errant touch. Doom, though, not able to find it. Doomsucker putting off the backboard. Wolfie in a dangerous spot. He's putting it in front of his own net, but no, will not give any semblance of hope at all. A great job by that Sabres defender, but Climax is up. Puts it technically on, but that is not going to count, and we go once again to OT.
2 for 2 in OT as we are now in game number 2, and both these teams looking for that extra little something. Sabres to establish dominance in this series and try to get themselves on match point. The Aviators attempting to tie this one up after dropping game 1 in that single goal in overtime to this Sabres team. Wolfie with a great carry over the top, looking for the demo. Doesn't quite find it. Phoenix isn't close enough to capitalize on the bump play. Wolfie really looking to bring that physicality into this game.
Lars, I feel like I'm watching a defensive masterclass because that is a legitimate goal line stand from both of these teams. One in regulation and one just happening in that green and white side. The Aviators do not bank. Oh, but I thought Doom had him caught up. Wolfie able to get back in time. The ball bouncing midfield. Climax puts the shot on. Denied by Wolfie. That ball is up and awkward for Phoenix. Putting it back down is Phoenix. The Sabres now sitting back in their own half. Low boost, a good 50 from Climax. Climax in the corner, has control, but doesn't have the beans. What a great read there, but Doom beat on the ball by Phoenix. Now the Sabres look for a counterattack. The ball bouncing back and slowing down. Climax demoed for his trouble. A 2-on-1 power play. Doom coming through, puts it out, and giving this just a chance for the Aviators. A chance. Floating it over, not able to put it through. Wolfie turns it away.
Just a crumb of opportunity, please. That's all I ask, is just a crumb. And the Aviators got it, but they don't find a way to finish it off. As a good defensive rotation out of Wolfie buys enough time to get this ball clear. And we get this back and forth. Doomsucker with an opportunity, and the Aviators tie it. Minute 33 in overtime.
Tying the series back up off of a beautiful dish. We talk about the flicks from the Dominus, and that technically I think it was, but throwing it up with that long, lengthy car and just lobbing it to a teammate. Doomsucker climbing that ladder, getting above all the other players and putting it back down. That is the exclamation mark that they needed. That ties this series up, Lars, and a goal like that I think can turn a series towards your side.
Yeah, that is a huge momentum change for the Aviators. They dropped game number 1, and they had control of game number 2, but they lost it to the Sabres. I think they needed that goal there to kind of retain any kind of momentum that they had built off those first 2 goals, because losing that lead and then losing in overtime could be devastating to morale going forward. That all being said, well, I would say best of 5, but this is minor league esports. We're going to play all five regardless. So you guys are guaranteed to see these 2 teams continue to go at it all the way to game number 5. But before we get there, thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, hopes, dreams. What do these teams need to break what is effectively a stalemate at this point?
Lars, like you say this, and I'm sitting here waiting because, Lars, have you looked at their stats? They're almost identical again. 7 to 8 shots, 3 to 4 saves, 2 assists to 1 assist, 3 goals to 2 goals. How do you break it? I don't know. Just score one more time than the other team. Have that last insurance goal, maybe. No. You say have the pressure. The Sabres had the pressure, and the Aviators answer. Have the bully plays. The Sabres had the bully plays. Then the demos come through from the Aviators. It is just find something different that your opponent maybe can't emulate that you can do.
Yeah, I would say, you mentioned demos, you mentioned bump plays, and we saw a couple of them. We definitely saw Wolfie really chasing some of those bump plays in net, but I think we only saw a total of maybe 4 demos throughout that game. 5 minutes is a long time. There's a lot of boost on the field. Players tend to pick up 2,000 to 3,000 boosts throughout the course of a game. That's a lot of demo potential. I'd like to see some of these very, very solid rotations disrupted in that physical play.
Well, Wolfie has switched out to the Octane. Maybe that is what the Sabres need here in game number 3. Climax has control on that side while running it back, trying to find a touch here. Phoenix running underneath it, but a good job by Wolfie staying patient, playing on that goal line, gifting hard there by Doom. The ball bouncing out. Phoenix has some control here. You wonder what is going on. What's the thinking is for the Sabres as they throw this ball back up, and this first minute of game number 3 begins to go away.
Back and forth yet again. We see these teams struggle with the contain at the midfield. They do a great job of generating opportunities in transition, getting the ball downfield quickly, trying to catch their opponents in an awkward rotation, which, to the credit of both of these teams, it is not often that they give any kind of advantage, even in the transition to defensive rotations. But we haven't seen a lot of, hey, we've got the ball in your end, let's keep it here until we get that opportunity. We're looking for, speaking of which, Climax taking advantage of an awkward backboard read. Will be Aviators to strike first.
Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. That is what the name of this game usually means, and Aviators doing a great job of that. That errant touch backwards, finding the pass from Doom. Climax putting them back up by 1, and Lars, 1 goal is the only difference in stat, really. 1 save standing for the Aviators. These guys are just truly deadlocked. This is insane.
The good news is you have no idea how this series is going to end. We didn't come out here and with 2 wildly different teams, and game number 1's a blowout, and game number 2, hey, it was a little bit closer, but it was a blowout too. You're like, okay, we're going to watch 3 more games of this, but we kind of know where this is going. Nope, not the case at all, as Climax doesn't quite find the touch to put a shot on net here, and Wolfie will get the demo in the process of this clear, and that's a shot on net with a huge save from Doomsucker. Doomsucker with 2 saves so far in this match, and I don't know how many so far in this series.
Enough. That has been the answer, Lars. That's how they won last game. 1 more save and 1 more goal. Now Doom is up. The soft touch coming on that Fennec. It was just kind of, it looked like it got stuck in midair and then twisted and arced and just kind of tapped it in.
Sometimes that's all you need is just that one little touch. And what I really like about what Doomsucker did here is they got close to the ball, and then, like you said, just kind of stopped. They waited till the Sabres had committed on a defensive play because they had to at some point. Ooh, we got the fake on the kickoff. That one's played down with a shot just to the wall. As they see, there was not going to be a good shooting opportunity as Climax had returned to the net. But stopping in the air, setting up behind that ball, waiting for the commit of the defense, and then turning the car to get the perfect placement to take advantage of it. Very, very well done on Doomsucker. And that is the kind of creativity you need to see out of these players to get an advantage.
Well, it's trying to find a way, Lars, and it's such a simple statement, but it is the truth of mostly anything, especially in life, not only, but Rocket League as well. It's finding a way past your opponent into the goal. Doomsucker sitting back at midfield and collecting that one. No, he doesn't. He couldn't find a double off of the near post. The demo comes through. Wolfie getting to that one, but Climax puts it off the same post. What did the right post do to you guys? But it doesn't matter. Climax puts it back in.
Oh, this is the biggest goal differential we have seen so far in this series. Aviators took a while to warm up. They were a little rocky in game number 1. They lost a lead similar to this, but not quite. In game number 2, we're able to reclaim it. Now, they've been able to put 4 unanswered goals in the last 5-ish minutes, 4-ish minutes of gameplay. Oh, 3, really, because the last one ended. Okay, Castromat, that's fine, it doesn't matter. They've got 4 unanswered goals. The Sabres need to find a way to bring this back into their wheelhouse, sink their teeth back into this series. That could be the Aviators jetting off into the sunset.
Lars, it's just a 4-0 run, man. It is. You have to find a way to stop it if you're the Sabres, and if you're the Aviators, you just want to continue extending the lead. Post gaming. but it's okay. Doomsucker playing that janitor role collects the goal, puts them up by 4.
Climax looking for a little bit of extra spice, a little bit extra style on that shot, and they don't find it, but Doomsucker says, hey, that's okay. I was raised eating curry all my whole life. I'll clean up this spice, no problem.
Cleanup crew has been called and collected. That is a 4-goal lead for the Aviators. The Sabres, we're keeping this game close. We're keeping the series close. Have kind of got run over here on Forbidden Temple. Not really ready for the change of scenery. Maybe a bit jet lagged in the travel, maybe, but they are just truly just out of their game right now, and they need to find something. There was that early attempt. Now they're trying to find another, but Wolfie can't get his way back to that ball. The Octane a little bit too unruly for him here. Doomsucker waiting underneath of it, and that's going to be a misread. Climax puts it off the backboard, trying to find his teammate, but no, they don't want to overcommit. They're just protecting and playing this kill clock Rocket League.
At this point, they have complete control of this
Demo?
game. Under a minute with a huge demo. That's the kind of momentum shift the Sabres need. 3 goals. Less than a minute. That's a tough one, but if you're going to do it, leading off with something like that's the way to get it started.
Well, Lars, I would not put it past the Arctic Division to pull something like this, nor would I put it past those vaunted Sabres to try something like this. So, Phoenix and Wolfie have a task set in front of them. That's a big demo, and that's a smoke screen. But Doomsucker keeping a wherewithal, finding the ball. The ball is up. Climax misreading there, but Doomsucker able to make up for it. That ball is still on. Doomsucker keeping it on, but a great save from Phoenix into getting an epic save, and it was a save of epic proportions. That is a momentum-saving goal, or save, I mean. So I think if they get that one, they're going to win this game, but they look so much stronger heading into the next game. But the Sabres, they were the last ones to score. They bended but didn't break here, and they still have another opportunity.
It's a good start for them going into game number 4 as this series now falls to Aviators' advantage, 2-1 on the series, but Sabres continuing to keep game 3 alive, finally played down by Doomsucker. Not sure they weren't trying to put that into the corner because, as you know, we keep that ball up. I would like to say, though, as some of you may have noticed in the chat, if you like what you see here, one of these plays out of one of these players, go ahead and clip it, send it in either on Twitter at MLE Sports GG, hashtag POTW, or in the appropriate Discord channel in our Discord. You can join us by going to mlesports.gg/apply. Also on the MLE Sports website, you have merch, articles, power rankings, everything you want out of a competitive league. And also, I'll say it again, merch. And you can tell our sponsors. You can get the links to the sponsors. Go support the people that support us. Love our sponsors. It's a fun community league based on bringing a professional atmosphere to every level of gameplay. We have everything from bronze all the way up through SSL. If you want to be a part of this community, mlesports.gg/apply. Oh my goodness. There's the pitch. Going forward, Aviators. They've taken command of the series 2-1. They took command of that game with a huge victory, which I know 4-1 isn't like a huge stat line, but with the way the rest of this series has gone, it kind of is. This has been so tight, so competitive in games 1 and 2, both games going to overtime, both games decided by that one golden goal. To win this in regulation, that's a big step in the right direction. That being said, Sabres had the last goal, had a huge save to save that momentum. Can they carry it into game number 4?
What I have circled here on my notes is keeping it close. That was what both of these teams did, and that was why both teams were looking so well. Aviators just ran away with that one, got up 3 big goals, and just never had to look back, and they are not slowing down as Doomsucker puts that one back on. Another goal here for the Aviators, and only 11 seconds in.
Yeah, that's a quick turn. Right off the kickoff, they take advantage of the Sabres a little bit out of position. That's something that you don't often find with the Sabres. They've been so good on both ends of the ball in those transitions, finding the positions they need to be in. But unfortunately, caught low boost in an awkward center net position. That'll be the Aviators to strike first.
Well, the ball back onto this orange side. Once again, a familiar spot if you're the Sabres. They have been hemmed in. They have been stuck on their own side, but a big-time demo. Wolfie collecting that goalkeeper, dishing it up to Phoenix, playing the protect the president strategy to a ball.
Wow, what a fast change, a fast start, an aggressive start to game number 4. 1-1 already 28 seconds in. These teams have been an absolute slugfest to get anything going so far. They are racing to the goal line here, back and forth, and that huge physical play we see on the Sabres has been a little bit inconsistent in the execution, but man, when it hits different.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Heat-seeking missiles on the Sabres right now. They are looking for anything that is not in that orange, be it the ball or be it another player. So, the Sabres taking advantage of some physical plays, trying to find another bump. There's Phoenix. Wolfie getting another demo, but Phoenix out at midfield. Low boost turning awkwardly. Doom getting a touch, and that wasn't a beat, but it was a stall, Lars. It gave his teammate time to spawn, time to get back, and some wherewithal to figure out what side of the field they spawned on.
Well, that's also such a critical skill to have here, is that ability to buy time for your teammates. Sometimes you're just not in a good position to make magic out of a down position 1 against 2. All you gotta do is just stall. Wait for your teammate to get back in this game. And now Sabres on the back foot a little bit. Aviators give a little bit extra space, but they won't get punished for it as that ball thrown out to mid, bounces into the shooting lane. The Climax facing the wrong way will have to cycle all the way around, gets it past 1. Wolfie will collect. Now the transition back in favor of Sabres. Nice little flick out of Wolfie, but it's just not quite enough to beat this Aviators defense.
You said it, not enough. A great job by the Aviators of collecting this pressure and giving no inch, but Doom having to make that near post save. There are cracks in this armor. The Sabres prowling around at this upper spot. Doom running them back. Climax still on it here, needs to win a 50 and does. The Aviators finally off of their own side for the first time in what, 30? 45 seconds? But the Phoenix and company, they want to put it back on. Sabres had some control here as we get to the halftime. Aviators back on top, finding that soft touch down as Doom. Climax is up. The soft touch coming through, but they can't find it, turned away by Phoenix.
Well, the Sabres right now trying to be violent, but it's Doom Sucker here, and I have to say I'm not ready to call an MVP for this series because you don't know what could happen in the remaining 7 minutes and 20 seconds or so of Rocket League we have yet to play.
But up to this point,
Doom Sucker has had so many saves, has been so huge in the defensive end, and finds a way to be deadly in the offensive end. That's a scary player to play against, and I think if you're the Sabres, we've seen them be effective with the demo plays, the bump plays. Maybe get a little bit more targeted in that and start to put Climax on their own.
Start to highlight good old Doom with the demos, huh? Make sure we're getting that one instead of Climax. I think it's just taking advantage of numbers plays, and you know what? Every time Doom has the ball, that was a 2v1, by the way. He said, yeah, it's 2v1. We have the advantage. Phoenix putting it on. That's a bump coming through. See you later. Lars, we call that throwing them out of the club. The bouncer says your time here has been revoked. Wolfie throwing him to the 7th floor.
Oh, I love this play. I love it, especially Phoenix taking that shot a little bit earlier than maybe necessary, knowing that they have Wolfie going out and getting that guard in front. But what it does by taking that shot early is it forces a response out of Climax. Climax now has to challenge that ball, or it goes in anyways, and it puts them on this defined path. They have nowhere else to go. They have to be in a certain place at a certain time, and that lets Wolfie come up and absolutely blast them into the crossbar.
As a former offensive lineman myself, it always warms the heart to see a true pancake, and you can rarely get those in Rocket League, but that was beautiful here. The Sabres, 3 yards in a cloud of dust Rocket League right now, just pounding it out, trying to find ways, just making this physical style work for them. And they're currently sitting in a tie ball game with just 1 minute and 15 left. Wolfie's up, but can't find the touch. Doom getting a demo of his own. Now Climax, a ton of space, but not a lot of momentum. Back by Wolfie again. The Sabres put it back on the ball. Floating over. Doom, though, has some control, but it doesn't matter. His teammates demoed again. Now the ball bouncing back. The Aviators with a long arching clear, trying to get some space, trying to get some time and get some boost.
Oh, I see some of this quick transition play returning, and the Sabres not quite in that dominant offensive rotation that we saw earlier in this game, but it seems this transition away from that dominance has actually worked to their favor. They've tied this one up. And as we tick down towards the last 30 seconds, this is the pattern we know and love out of these two teams. The tight, competitive play. But Climax will have a free one here, and they don't quite find the Doomsday. Huge demos to open up this opportunity. And now a chase down for a physical play by Phoenix. It doesn't quite find the mark, but it doesn't matter. Wolfie across. There's no one there for the pass. This one's touched to the mid. This should be a free goal, and it will be. Doomsucker, with less than 10 seconds on the clock, gives Aviators the lead.
Lars, it was turning into a 1v1 with obstacles is what I was looking at. Whoever had the ball, there was one defender you were fighting, and the other two are just trying to demo each other. But no, Doomsucker takes advantage of the double commit and overcommittance by the Sabres. They find a way to put themselves back up with only 8 seconds left.
The Sabres, we know they can bring the magic, but can they do it with no time on the clock? They can't allow this ball to touch the ground. This was dangerously out towards the wall. It will bounce up. Here's an opportunity played down by Climax.
Still got it.
But Phoenix has the catch. That flips on net. We might see it. No, Climax has a huge save. Aviators take the series in game number 4.
The series clinching save. Goal line stand by Climax. You gotta be kidding me. What a way to end that one, game 4. And we still have one more, Lars.
Oh, wow. Yes, as you may not be aware if you're just joining us, this is Minor League Esports, and we will play all 5, despite the fact that Aviators have secured the 500-plus record here in this series. Sabres will get an opportunity to bring one back in game number 5, and these teams, they're so evenly matched. We've seen 2 overtimes already. Game number 3 was kind of a runaway in favor of the Aviators. All credit where credit is due to them for finding a way to make that work. But now we almost saw overtime in game number 4, if not for an enormous save from Climax Games. They put one save on the board, but man, is it the one that mattered.
It is the one important one, Lars. That is all that matters, like you said. And so, heading into game 5, it is up to the Aviators. Do they want to push for that 4-1? Or in the Sabres, they want to try and pull it back to a 2-3. So, Aviators take the series, but game 5 is where legends are born, where playoff runs are begun and ended. It is important for both of these squads, with all of these games beginning to get further and further piled on to their records.
Especially with the Sabres looking to try to get back into playoff contention. Again, we got lots and lots of season left to play. We're only in week number 5 of a 12-week, 14-game series.
Almost half.
14-series season. Oh, my goodness. Save me. I'm floundering. Please, Wolf. Oof. Oh, my God. I'm done.
Lars, I don't think I can save you because Climax is the one that has been saving this game. Doom and them have played beautifully on the back end. Wolfie getting a save of their own. Arctic Division being made proud. Some good showing here by the Sabres. Now it's all the way back. Phoenix has to get home and can't. The long, arching, mortar-esque goal being launched from Climax truly end to end.
Wow, what a send all the way from deep in their own corner. That's not the parking lot, that's the town over. Finding that one all the way in with a nice swish at the end to finish that one off. And Aviators strike first. Yet again, we've seen this pattern start to emerge between these two teams of Aviators striking first, with the Sabres mounting a comeback. The question is, can the Sabres finish it out?
Well, can the Aviators finish it out? Can they get that 3-0 lead that they had? And there it is again, 2-0, Lars. I don't want to speak it into existence, but Doomsucker, beautiful control there.
How many times, though, have we seen the Sabres tie it back up on a 2-0 lead? Just saying. Sabres out here, very capable team. When they can hit that groove, get that rotation, get some of those bumps in, and put some shots on net, they're deadly. They just can't find a way to do it consistently enough to beat out this Aviators team, but a double commit could make this awkward. A little bit of space for Wolfie here, plays this one off the wall, has boost. As the flip reset, doesn't quite find it, it's a fake, but Climax reads it first, and Phoenix will not be allowed to capitalize on that opportunity.
You say that, but he had no boost and tried to force it anyway, getting a shot for his troubles. He said, boost be darned, positioning be darned, rotations be darned. I'm going to take the shot anyway, but turned away by this Aviator defense. Doomsucker sitting at midfield, going to give it up. Wolfie and Phoenix, both players are there, but not exactly in a favorable spot. You know what? Doomsucker kind of accepted his fate, knew he was going to get demoed there, just drew them up as far as he could.
Sometimes that's all you can do, but sometimes that's important to be able to bait those teams. Big bumps here as Doomsucker disrupts that play, and another bump to disrupt any kind of effective transition. That play, had it not been for the bump, had the Sabres dead to rights. And now it looks like a team bump may have happened in front of the net there, but it doesn't matter as Aviators will recover quickly, and the Sabres will ring the post. Get that woodwork framing out that net and not able to find a way to get their first goal here in game number 5.
Lars, we know of the heat map that we'd like to show. I wish you could show like a post map, because there would be a dent on that right one on the Sabre side. It would look perfectly oval shaped, just this big dent, because they have just assaulted that right post, because they've been pressuring so well, they just end up flipping to the right. I don't know if they're right-hand dominant or if that's their thing, but Wolfie with a lot of space. Doomsucker, though, sneaking out and getting that save.
Well, as these teams get through halftime of this game, Wolfie is able to just slowly, carefully collect this one and turn it gently up through the front of the net, tuck it inside that post, as both Doomsucker and Climax find themselves outside of the net. So important to always put yourself between the ball and your own net. It'll be Wolfie to strike first for the Sabres.
Well, Lars, you said it. They're down by 1. They're down 2. Now they're down only by 1. They've cut this lead in half. You cannot put these pesky Sabres away for long. They will find a way to fight, claw, and scratch back their way to try and make it a game, and they are only down 1 here just under halftime. Wolfie waiting for it in midfield. The soft touch out. He's got Phoenix on a very good climb up, but not enough boost to push it down. Doomsucker collecting that off the backboard, but hands it off. Wolfie puts the shot on. That's a double kick from the Aviators in a dangerous place. Phoenix is up. That soft touch, that's too far in. The Aviators cracking under the pressure.
That's all I have to say.
Understandable, Lars. I already have the Lars is cute spam, but no, Lars is smart. Lars is gigabrain. Lars is psychic, because he called it a 2-goal lead has just evaporated. The Aviators, what once was a firmly controlled game, now stands tied with just 1 minute and 40 left.
Well, it will be the back and forth here, and now the flip side of this 2-goal comeback prediction is the Sabres. Well, they've managed to make this comeback. They have failed to capitalize and finish it, as Doomsucker gets a nice little flick over the top. It sends that far post to return the lead back firmly in Aviators' hands.
Lars, you've done it again, you madman. Can they finish it? And that's what happens. The Aviators, they give up a goal, they give up another one, and then say, oh wait, we can play offense again, and score and give themselves a lead. 1.5 minutes left. The Aviators protecting a 1-goal lead.
Well, we need to see the Sabres dig deep here. Bring out some of that prehistoric survival instincts to keep themselves alive here in game number 5. That's a quick transition play downfield. Phoenix doesn't get the touch, and it'll be Climax to clear this one away. As we come up on the 60-second mark, Sabres in familiar territory, down late in the game by a single goal.
1 goal stands between them and forcing possibly an OT or trying to steal this game away. But the Aviators defending their lead in the series. That's an overrun from Phoenix, but it's not enough of a shot from Climax. That Dominus a little bit too unruly, not able to find that magic touch, but trying to dunk over Wolfie. Can't get this one. Now Wolfie, a lot of space, a lot of time, and a lot of speed. He's one-on-one. He's got to get over Doom. Rotating down. Doom puts it back. That's a save, but not a clear. But a big save and the clear coming out. Team defense makes the day.
That's a huge play. Doomsucker looking for the fake there. Just tries to take that one low, but it finds the post as well. Wolfie sends this one downfield. A few seconds remain on the clock. Here's an opportunity. Phoenix slow plays off the wall. Gets that one past one. Touches it back, but Doomsucker recovers and sends this one back downfield. An opportunity for Doomsucker to secure the game. Wolfie dives across the front of the net, and now a 2-on-1. Sabres need the magic. Need to find a way to keep it alive here. One more opportunity to the wayside. Aviators 4-1 in game number 5.
My heart is racing, Lars. We saw almost an exact replica of last game. The Sabres down 1, trying to find some heroics, have the ball bouncing around, have some opportunities, but unable to finish. And that is how this game 5 falls to an end. Almost an exact replica of game 4. The Aviators holding on for dear life at the end.
Oh, it took the Aviators a while to get started, to get their engines warmed up and off the flight line, ready to race across the sky. But at the end, they find a way to do it. They drop game number 1 to the Sabres in overtime. And despite getting tenuous and getting into close situations like that as time went on, they find a way to hold on to evade those big cats chasing them down the runway. The Aviators extend their already a fairly impressive season record by another 4 games in the win column.
4 big wins, and unfortunately that means 4 big losses going towards the Sabres, so that moves them to a 12-18. We look across the pitch, the Aviators 17-13, so riding high. They were already sitting fairly up there, 13-12. They were 4th, so that will move them up a couple spots probably in the standings, so you want to see how they finish it there. Sabres, rough week in the office, but a lot of good showing, a lot of good pressure, a lot of good shots, and a lot of good things, Lars.
Yeah, so speaking of finishing it there, that is going to finish it here for you and me. But that doesn't finish it here for Minor League Esports and Minor League Esports Actions, because we have 2 more series here for you tonight. Moving on to 3v3, a new feature here at Minor League Esports. We've been 2v2 forever. For 11 seasons. Now, in Season 12, the much-anticipated 3v3 game mode is going to be the back half of our broadcast here on Minor League Esports GG. Starting off with the Bulls versus the Pirates Premier League. You're not going to want to miss it. I've been Lars Newt. This has been Foof. Stick around because we have some great casters and some great gameplay coming up right after this.